Hello, everybody, and we are now live. Welcome to the Qentinel Pace February 2021 release stream, where we showcase what we've been doing in February and what are the new developments in Qentinel Pace and what we have been working towards this month. Our idea is to do these streams every month, to showcase the new technologies and help everybody get into grips in what's the new hotness in the new release version. And in this month, we've been focusing quite a lot on integrations and making it the platform more usable than on a great number of flashy features, fixing up the way that you can integrate Pace into a lot of different DevOps pipelines automatically, and also improving a lot on the integration side and some of the ways that you can actually get information out of what's the state of Pace also in there, and focusing on that. If you want to get all of this information every month, you can also subscribe to this channel and also hit on the bell icon in there, as all the YouTubers nowadays say, so you can get the notifications out of there. And that way you can always get notified when we go live with some of these new release streams, and we are planning to have some webinars and other content also available to help you navigate Qentinel Pace and doing tutorials on how to do different kind of features on it. What we have today on the agenda is some of this general information that I pretty much already covered here, and a stack of demos, as it's always better to show than just tell, and show PowerPoint slides, as everybody knows that everybody can do PowerPoint, but we really want to show what's actually going on in there. So some of the main features that we are demoing this month or what we did last month and now releasing, is setting up GitHub Actions to run Qentinel Pace, so you can easily integrate in there. Also, we've done improvements in the editor, doing BitBucket support, so you can also integrate that quite well. Of course, we have a support for custom jet, but doing it directly with BitBucket makes it a lot easier. We've added email notifications for suites and PaceRobot version selection also. So these two features help you know what's going on and control the granularity, much more easier to focus on a single version and not always be on the head version of PaceRobots. For PaceConnect Mobile, video recording, a lot of you have asked for this feature to actually be able to record the videos also from the mobile devices the same way as you can from the web. We'll have a demo on that. And last but not least, there's something quite interesting going on here with PaceiRobo demo. We're actually interfacing with real robots from the cloud. So this is kind of a mind twister, that software robots integrating with actual robots running robot framework. So there's a lot of robotiness going on in the last demo. But we'll leave it to that, and hopefully you can join to keep with us on to the end of the stream to really see what's going on in there. And of course, we are taking questions and answers. You can put a question on the chat at any point in the stream. I'll handle them between the demos, and we have a couple of people also online answering them in the chat and getting that underway. Some other features on February that we did, all the demos, the BitBucket email recordings, Qentinel Pace. There's some other stuff also. Personal access keys from beta to official version, so you can now use access keys to better control it. Passport is a functionality added now into Qentinel Pace, which was a kind of a duh moment, but now it can be done. And the capability to switch between different robot versions, the beta feature. You can see all of this in help.pace.qentinel.com on that huge URL, but it's also down there in the comments, so you can easily do that and check out all the new features. But I think you've seen enough of me, so we can actually go into the best part, so actually showing something that we've been doing and not just me talking, and getting the guys who've actually done it to demo you some of the features in there, so you get it straight out of the horse's mouth. So for the first demo, we have setting up GitHub Actions to run tests in Qentinel Pace, and I'll give the floor to Jarno, who's been the lead on this feature also. Jarno is also a great ML engineer. Hello, Jarno.
All right, thank you, Henry. So I'll be speaking about Pace new GitHub action and essentially show how to launch Pace tests from GitHub workflows. To provide just a little bit of background, GitHub actions are GitHub's way of building software workflows. So essentially CI/CD pipelines in GitHub. So they can be used for building, testing, or deploying your code from GitHub, among other things. And what you can now do is you can run your end-to-end tests in Pace directly from these workflows with our Pace GitHub action. Previously, you would have to use our API endpoints, but this action makes it a lot more easier to do that. So let's look at a brief example how to do that. First, we need a test suite in Pace. I have one here that I have prepared for this demo. And what this test suite does, it's a simple one. It essentially opens a web page, then it does some swipes, verifies some icons, and things like that, simple things with a website. And we want to run this test. We can see some previous runs in here, and we want to run this test from GitHub. And for that, we have GitHub action available in the GitHub marketplace. So this is the place where all the public GitHub actions reside. And here are instructions how you can set it up. You need to extract the project ID and suite ID from the URL in Pace, and then insert them to your workflow YAML file. And let's take a look how this YAML file looks like. I have an example workflow here in this very repository where the action itself resides. And these GitHub workflows, they are in this standard folder.github/workflows. In there you can find the main YML file. Opening that will show you how this workflow is built. This will trigger whenever we push something into this repository. And what it does is here that we say that, okay, it uses Qentinel Pace action and its version. And it says that, okay, you need the access token, which you can get from Pace, and then the suite ID and project ID. And now once we have these in place, we can go to this Actions tab. And in here, we can see all our workflows in this repository. And we can see that it has already been running this. And we can open and investigate how it has been going. So it looks something like this. And now, since we want to demonstrate this, let's start by running this pipeline again. And what we should see is that in here, a new test run starts to, or a new test run starts to run in here. So let's rerun this. And now it takes a couple of seconds to start in GitHub. And once it starts, it then sends a command to Pace API to execute that test in there. And once it's running, we can see from the logs that what is happening. Okay, now it has started it and the state is executing. And now when we go here, refresh this view, we can see that indeed there is now this test case is executing. And now we'll just wait that it finishes, and this pipeline waits until the test case has finished, and then report the results. It should take about 20 seconds. All right. So now it's finished, and we can go to the results page, which is here. And we can see that all the tests passed. And that was it. Basically, then if you had other steps in your pipeline, it would continue progressing with those. But this is how easily now you can run tests in Pace directly from GitHub. And thank you everyone for listening. That's all from me. Back to Henry.
Thank you, Jarno. for your great demo. I think the GitHub integrations, the Git actions also makes it a lot easier to integrate. We have the APIs and all of that to do the integrations, but now that you can do it actually inside of your GitHub project, it's really seamless what we're doing in there. And we want to add that for quite a lot of other CI/CD platforms to make it easy as well on those. So watch out for that. That's something that we're doing. And talking about integrations, the next demo that we're going to have is about BitBucket support and adding those different really favorite platforms into Pace and helping you guys actually work with the tool that you already have with Pace and in regard to those. So for our next demo, we're going to show you the BitBucket support and how to set up BitBucket now in Pace. And to that, we have Jori, who's going to show you how it's actually done. And Jori is one of our lead developers. Hello.
Hello. Thank you, Henry. This is Jori from Qentinel Product Development. So I'll show you the new BitBucket integration in Qentinel Pace for storing the PaceWord test scripts. There are two options for PaceWord test script storage. One is to store them on the Qentinel Pace platform itself, which uses Amazon S3 Internet. So you can use Pace Editor and recording live testing for developing your test case and not worry about where the files are stored, and off you go. Our advanced users usually prefer to use Git version control system, however, for storing the test scripts. So what Jarno showed was a case where your product source code is in GitHub, and then you trigger Qentinel Pace test runs from changes in your product source code. But you can also use Git for storing the test scripts themselves. And this gives you benefits like version history. Git retains the entire history of changes in the test scripts, which you can review. And if many people edit the test scripts, then it's easy to review the changes, and Git takes care of any conflicts if many people edit the same file. You can use branches if you want to, like we do. For example, we have different branches for development and production test cases. So we run different versions of the test for those two environments. You can reuse the same Git repository in several Qentinel Pace test suites with different parameters, like we do, for example, for running the same test scripts on Firefox and on Chrome browsers. The easiest way to use Git is to use one of the service providers. Qentinel Pace integrates with GitHub and GitLab, and now also with BitBucket. In any of these, you can sign up for a free account and start creating public or private Git repositories. You don't need to install any software if you don't want to. You can just use the web user interface to get started. If your Git repository is hosted somewhere else, you can still use it for running tests in Qentinel Pace by selecting it as a custom Git repository. Let's see how this works. This Qentinel Pace, I have prepared a cloud web test robot. So let's start by adding a new test suite under that robot. This empty seat and starter suite options are for storing test scripts under Pace, but to use Git, I'll select one of these options here at the bottom. So there's GitLab, GitHub, BitBucket, and custom. Let's go with BitBucket. At this point, I'll need to give Qentinel Pace access to my BitBucket repositories, which I only need to do once. There's an instructions link here. So what we basically need is a BitBucket app password and username. I'll start by typing my username, colon, and then to generate a BitBucket app password, I'll go to bitbucket.org. This is my personal settings page. I can double check the username here. And in the app passwords section, I can create a new app password on BitBucket. And let's give this a name so that we know later that this app password is for Qentinel Pace to use. We'll need account read password, account read permissions to read the repositories, the list of repositories, and then to access the actual files with repository read and write permissions. The instructions tell exactly where to click on this page. For this demo, I don't even need the write access, so let's remove that. Create. Don't show these app passwords to anyone because they give access to your BitBucket data. Don't post them on YouTube live channels. Let's copy this password. As a security feature, these app passwords are easy to revoke later if you don't recognize them or think they shouldn't be used anymore. So after this demo, I'll definitely revoke this one. Back to Qentinel Pace, let's paste the password and save. Okay, let's try again.
Hi, Jori. Have you noticed that yeah, now it's right. It was Dubovin.
Did I misspell my own name?
Yes.
In my defense, a lot of other people do it too.
Thanks.
Okay, account read, repositories read, create. Copy, paste, save. Sweet. All right. Now, Qentinel Pace shows my BitBucket repositories, my personal ones, and any others that I have access to. So let's use this web shop tests repository where I have already prepared some test scripts. We still need to select a branch. The default one is fine. Save the new test suite. And when I click run, then Qentinel Pace will use the app password to get the test scripts from BitBucket and execute the tests. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the Pace editor. So if this file is from the BitBucket repository, I can make edits here, add new tests. And when I click save, the changes are saved as a change set on the BitBucket side. And the test passed fine. And there's a link here where I can open the Git repository on the BitBucket side to review what's going on in the repository. So it will show me the latest version of the files. And I can, for example, go to commits to review the entire change history. 3 days ago, I made a change. If I click that, then I can see that I have added some documentation and fixed a verify text keyword. So because these Paceword test scripts are just text, it's not only easy to read the test scripts, it's also easy to manage the test scripts using this effective Git tool. Okay, and the GitHub and GitLab integrations works pretty much in the same way, so pick whichever you prefer. So this is how Qentinel Pace integrates with BitBucket for managing test script storage and changes. Thank you.
Thank you, Jori. It's a great demo. And as you can see, we are totally live here. This is not recorded, so no pre-demo. So we got the demo effect that we were looking for. Thanks, Jori, for that. And a nice save. We have the next demo on email notifications, how you can configure those, and then another thing called how you can manage the versioning of your PaceRobot in the cloud and figuring out what libraries to use. And for that, we have Jukka, who's going to come and demo that. Jukka is a software engineer from Qentinel who does a lot of the backend work for Qentinel Pace also. Hello, Jukka.
Yes, hello. Thank you, Henry. So here I have this Qentinel Pace project. and under it I have robot, and then suite under that robot. So first I will introduce this suite level notifications functionality. When I select this suite, I can see this notifications button here, and when I click it, I can add new notifications. At the moment, these are emails sent from different suite events. For example, when the suite starts running, we are going to add different types of notifications. For example, Slack notifications are something that we are adding next. Yeah, then I can just add new notification from here. For now, the type is email. Then I could add some short description for it. And then I can select when the actual emails are sent. So, for example, when at least one test fails in the suite, or all of them pass, or when the actual execution starts. For now, I will select this execution because I want to receive the email immediately. Then I can add also recipients for the email. Here I can see the list of page users I can see. At the moment I can only see myself, so I will add that and then save. And now when I run this suite, I should receive email about the run. So here it is. Just tells me that the suite has started executing and gives me a link to the status of the suite. Now it has already finished. Then of course I can also edit this notification. Next select this success case because it seems that all the tests are passing. And I should also receive email about this quite fast because this is very vast test suite. Here it is. Now it tells me the status of the run. All of them passed, and gives me a link to the detailed report of the run. So if any of the tests had failed, I could see easily here what had happened. Yeah, that's about the notifications. Of course, I can also delete them when I don't need them anymore. But then the another thing is this version of the robot that can be selected when adding new robot or when editing any existing robot. So now I will edit this robot I have already done. Let's take this. So this is the default setting, and here I can see this advanced options button. These are settings that have good default values that you don't usually need to change. So only if you really need to, you should say change this. And this is the version selection. At the moment it's in beta, so you'll need to enable beta versions in your profile view here. Yeah, what does this version mean then? Contains the different library versions. We have, for example, the QWeb library that is used to execute the tests, and it has Python version and different browser versions. As said, this stable version is the default and also recommended value. It's the latest official release we have, and it always stays up to date if you have this selected. Then I could also select this unstable version, which is the latest release if you always want to have the latest library or latest browsers. Then also I can select older versions. For example, if I want some locked version of the libraries that are used, I could select this. And this is needed, for example, in RPA cases where you want to make sure that the tests always execute the same way, that then no version updates happen. Yeah, now I lock the version to this 48, and now every suite under this robot will use that version. We should also see the version number in the logs of the build or the run. So here we can see that the QWeb version is now the one we selected. And then, of course, I can go back to the stable if I want, or any other version at any moment. Yeah, that's about the robot version. And I didn't have anything else. Back to you, Henry.
Thank you, Jukka, and thank you for the demo. That's some features that we are going to iterate more and more on. And if you see some of these features here and you log into your own Pace and don't see them, Jukka highlighted in a great way the fact that you have to go into your profile and enable beta features. As there are many of the features come there first. As said, they are in beta, so they might have some problems, but then we want to test out those with actual customers, so you guys can actually get the feedback. As we want to learn from all of the stuff that's actually going on in there and give you the newest features in the shortest possible time, so you can get all the benefits from there, even though there might still be some hiccups. For some organization, of course, this is not a good thing, so that's why we put them behind the test beta features flag, so you have the control in that. Next, we have the demo of, I haven't switched the slides, demo of PaceConnect Mobile video recording. So this is something that's been asked quite a lot, because we now have the option to record videos on the web. So any web installs that you run or tests that you run, you get a video recording from there. And now we have added that also to PaceConnect Mobile on video recording. To demo that, we have Sami to give the demo, who's been developing all of the mobile features around Qentinel Pace. Hello, Sami.
Hi, my name is Sami. I will demonstrate how you can enable video recording of test execution on your own Android device. For that purpose, I have created one robot which is using the PaceConnect for mobile, and I have added already one test suite to that robot. And to enable the video recording, you need to go to the suite configuration and then enable the streaming and recording of test videos by selecting yes, and then saving the suite. And you can select then on which events videos are recorded, so you can record only the failed test cases or all or nothing. So I will select all for this demonstration. Let's put it running. I have the PaceConnect already running in the background, and I have one Android device connected to that PaceConnect using USB cable. And here you can see the screen mirroring so that you see what's happening on the device. There's 2 simple test cases executed. Now the test suite has been executed, and we head back to the Pace. And soon we will see the results. And from this results section, you can see that we have now the videos available. So let's check this second test case video. Right, and this is how you enable the video recording for the mobile test cases on the local Android device. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. As you know, that's one of the nicest features now, that you can actually get the video feedback on what's going on with your test suits, and when you're debugging them, you don't have to just rely on the textual reports, or you don't have to be on the same room with the actual device so you could look at what's happening on the screen. You can now get it after the test execution, so you can easily debug and easily see what's going on. And for example, in some RPA cases that you might want to know how they're executing or what they have done, that's also now possible with the videos that's going on in there. Now, I think one of the most interesting demos that we're going to do, not to take anything away from the previous presenters, but this is something that I said that is kind of like a mind twister in there, which is Pace controlling an actual robotic arm, so an actual robot in there, to demo that with one of our partners that we've been doing this work on. And to give this demo, we have Antti, who's going to show what's going on. Antti is from our product management team and showing the demo. Welcome, Antti, to the stream.
Thank you, Henry. My name is Antti, and I will show you today how we are contouring actual hardware robots using Pace. We have a setup called Pace-iRobo. So as Qentinel is focusing on software as a service, we have partnered with Infinitex Systems, and they have a product called iRobo Smart, so a robotic arm. Okay, a few words about the demo setup today. So I'm located some 100 miles from the iRobo, which is in Tampere. But fortunately, we have iRobo cameras, so you will see the iRobo in action. Pace and iRobo are connected via PaceConnect, and the system under test we have today is Android device. Of course, you can have any devices or switches, etc. We have our test scripts in GitHub. So let's get started. Okay, first what we do is we check that PaceConnect is on, and we have now two test cases. So when I press run button, could we see iRobo cameras? So it takes roughly the setup 30 seconds, but today we have two test cases. Oh, fortunately, they're running. So change sound state from quick settings and screen timeout to 5 minutes. As you can see, it's also pressing kind of hard buttons. Now it goes to the kind of desktop or home screen, swipes down and click sound, vibrate, mute, and verification. Sorry in case I'm not following. Okay, now we should have a second test case. So timeout to 5 minutes. Click icons, click text display, screen timeout, 5 minutes. And it will also verify the text. Okay, let's come back to Pace. I will show you what we did. So I show you the kind of Git. So we have test cases here. So you can see the Pace word scripting technique. So Pace words, so they are exactly the same what we have in web application testing, mobile application testing, and computer vision based. Next case is I'm going to edit test case. So now I'm using Pace Editor. And we have the same test cases here, of course, but it's a local setup. I will let's add verify text failing test. Okay, misspelled, but let's save it. Fail. Save changes. And now we can use run test feature in Pace Editor. And now we should also see the iRobot cameras. And now it's executing the first test case. Similar steps: click text sound, click text vibrate, click text mute. Okay. And now it's verifying the text failed. So let's come back to Pace. Let's see if we have run was aborted. Okay, maybe I clicked something, but I should have let's see if I have but I will show you here what should have happened. So over here I have verified text failing step, so you can see the original snapshot of the display, and here you can see the OCR QVision text detection and detection and text recognition. So that was our demo. Sorry about a minor issue there, but I hope you got the idea how it works. So we used QVision, so the same library what we use in our other test cases, but there's also option Infinitex option iRobot site, so it's Infinitex OCR engine. In case you are interested in the solution, please see the contact information there. And a bit of marketing. We will be at RoboCon 2021, so it's in 10 days, and I will have a workshop with Tuomas. So we'll show how to QWeb, so a robot framework library for web application testing. Please see you there, and thank you. And back to Henry.
Thank you, Antti, for the demo. So the demo is an interesting thing that it actually demos quite a lot of things that we can do with Qentinel Pace, integrating into actual physical devices which are not on the same office. They might be in a laboratory somewhere, but your development team is somewhere else or even on a different continent. You can still do the development of your test cases or your automation using this technology on those robots, for example. Or it might not even be robots, it might be Android or whatever. That's one thing that demo demoed. Then also the fact that we are actually using on some parts of these, as we cannot speak anymore. The way that we were controlling the actual devices using OCR, and you saw that on the failed test case, that we were actually looking for the different kind of trigger words and all of those inside of the screen that is in there. It couldn't find them because Antti added the failing test case in there, and you notice that it didn't find that in there, and you can get the fails from there. And then you can iterate on your testing process. So one thing is also that you can kind of scale it up into any size devices. It might be a car dashboard. It might be something totally different, and different kind of a physical device also that can be tested with that technology. So interesting possibilities in this like mixed world of software and actual hardware. And then we have some QA. If you have any questions, you can of course ask them on the actual chat in there. We had some questions from Kalle Mäkelä, who asked that are we going to do Slack and Teams integrations? Now are those already existing? Those are not already existing, but now easy to build on top of the actual platform that we're doing. And as the email stuff and all the triggers have now been done in there, it's easy to expand that to Slack that we were discussing. And Juha Markus is actually one of our team leads in there who's been answering some of the questions. And he said that maybe in the next demo, you might see a Slack integration for this same kind of thing. Another question from Kalle Mäkelä, who seems to be really active today in these kind of questions. Can I use any kind of hardware system under test and teach the iRobot based on the camera feed? Yes, and you don't really need to even teach that much, because you can also see the icons and text based on the OCR detection. So we detect that from that directly, so you don't have to teach it that much of anything. And I think that covers all of our questions. I think Kalle has been the most active commenter here, so he gets an active commenter reward today. And up next, talking about what's going to be in the next roadmap, what we are going to include in the next demo that you're going to see. We have local editing support. So now we have our Pace editor running on the cloud, which has all the nice kind of AI features helping you write proper test cases, analyzing those test cases, and then deploying them directly to the cloud. In the next demo, you're going to see how we can actually do this also locally. You can do all of your development locally and then deploy directly into Pace Cloud and run the tests in there and not in your local device. So that's going to be a fancy way of also doing the test case and improving the developer experience of the Pace platform. Also, we have our AI-augmented test case healing. This is something that's been asked for quite a lot. We can actually suggest fixes to the test cases quite easily. For example, if the UI updates or some of the buttons change, our AI system can recommend you how to easily fix those and expect a demo of that next month. Renewed first-time user experience. There's been some hiccups in the way that if you start up Pace now and go and start doing your test cases, we are reworking that to be even more usable and much more easier to way, and hope that many of you guys can also test out the user experience in the next coming years. And you know that it's going to change, so it's going to change for the better. More mobile test automation capabilities, improving on what we have on the mobile in there. And cherry on top of the cake, we've been talking a lot about test automation. But with test automation, basically what you're doing is you're verifying the quality of your software product. We are now expanding this with QI for DevOps, so quality intelligence for DevOps, a new insights data analytics platform that we're building on top of this. It takes data also from other places, not just from the test automation, to really bring it into one place. Data from your Git updates, the data from your actual code, from your actual test runs, and combines that and gives you more and more insights into the actual quality of your software. And you can even use the system to predict that quality. So tune in next month. We have quite a demo plan in there. So we've reached the end of the demo. Hopefully there were some nice little features that we've been developing in there. Send us contact us if you want to ask about any of this. If you want us to help you get up to speed with Qentinel Pace, you can contact me. You can contact the info mail. Either way works. We're here to help you guys get set up with Qentinel Pace. And thank you, everybody, for this nice demo and nice stream that we had. And see you next month. Thank you, everybody.